This morning's leaks finally see Nagi and Reo having a very much needed conversation, along with Ego making his own guest appearance. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and today I'll be going through the Blue Lock chapter 247 leaks with you all. If you enjoy the content I push out and would like to support your boy, please be sure and check that you're subscribed to the channel, commenting on my videos, and also check out my community Discord in the description if that interests you. Sorry if I sound weird also, but it's like 4 in the morning for me when these leaks drop, so I gotta be up early. Anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in, and please have an amazing day for me. Blue Lock 247 starts off with the intro text saying, "There's a storm of abuse on social media for the two who keep losing. Just now, how will Nagi and Reo get through this crisis?" The chapter begins with Reo scrolling in the universe version of Twitter, where he seems to be seeing a vast majority of the people talking about Nagi. They're saying things like, Nagi and Reo are dragging their feet too much. It's only natural their salaries are dropping. Nagi Seishiro is a one-hit wonder with only a super goal. Nagi should be out of the regulars. That super goal must have been a fluke. There's also my favorite one too, calling out Chris Prince directly, with this guy telling him to do his job or else he's going to lose every game. These Twitter folks truly think they know it all. Anyways, the scene then changes to us seeing both Nagi and Reo recovering from training in a locker room. Reo has decided that it's finally time to talk about the elephant in the room, as he goes on to just address Nagi about it straight up. Right now, Reo is in 16th place with 34 million, and Nagi is at 11th with 40 million. This means that Reo is still technically on the borderline of 23rd place, with even Nagi being vulnerable to drop too far depending on how they play next. They both agree that something needs to change in order to grow and evolve, and with only one match left against FC Barca, the clock is truly ticking for them. Nagi then begins to read some comments for himself, with the first saying, "Nagi's just like that, isn't he? The guy who was only amazing in his high school, and now the genius who disappeared." He goes on to explain that after his long-awaited win against Isagi, he feels like something's wrong with himself. Nagi admits that his heat just hasn't been the same, and he now always feels lost. However, he also knows that neither the situation nor his rivals will care about that. Thinking back on the advice of both Itoshi, Rin, and Barou, he knows that everyone else is fully prepared to move on without him. We then see, however, that there are people also still cheering for him online though. "I believe in you. Nagi Seishiro will survive. Nagi is back. Try again for that wonderful goal." These positive words in this talk with Reo have truly fired Nagi up, as we get to see an absolute peak panel to truly convey this point. Nagi understands that he needs to continue to be adaptable in order to become the best in the world, and with Reo viewing this flare-up, he also apparently has an idea for them. Now, this conversation obviously was bound to happen one way or another. However, I'm very happy that the author allowed us to witness it. It really gives us a ton of straightforward insight into how Nagi feels about all this, but it also plants the seeds of doubt into my mind about what could happen. I mean, what if Reo Mikage truly doesn't end up making the cut for the Blue Lock 23? Anyways, the chapter then actually cuts over to the Germany Stratum monitoring room, as we see Noel Noa preparing for a strategy meeting. Master Munich will apparently be using a basic balanced strategy of both offense and defense, which approaches this match with a multiple options kind of style. He then tells them all straight up that second place will never leave their memory with someone, because in life, only first place will grant you all your desires. Noah actually sounds like a genuine coach here for once, as he assures Master Munich that they will achieve victory. Win, and carve your names into history, egoist. Anyways, with that, Noah then begins to walk out of the room to catch some Z's. Well, at least until Ego shows up, peering his beady eyes into the room. Ego and Noah then have some friendly banter as per usual, with Ego even telling Noah to shut up and disappear, which my man seems to have no issues with. He's just trying to snooze. With Ego now having the floor though, he goes on to explain that he's only here to give them one more golden speech before this final battle. He goes on to ask if they remember what he told them the key to victory in the NEL was, which he already correctly remembers to be originality. With Ego furthering on with this, he then asks them all what originality is to them now that they've faced the wall of the soccer world and an annual salary system. Is it maybe their own play style, or the amount of value they've accumulated? No, absolutely none of that, as Ego equates one's originality to their hunger. It has nothing to do with some value given to you by the bidding system, or even the very talent you were born with. What a person is hungry for is what makes a person's originality, which directly correlates with egocentrism and keeps everything consistent. Ego then goes on to remind them all of everything in the NEL that's made them strive for, such as the role they now play, their annual salary, and even the rivals they crave to be. All of this has led each player to their own current originality, stemming from this challenge-based concentration that Blue Lock's ingrained into them. Ego gasses them up even more by saying that they're basically now professionals in his eyes, as that's what he calls a person who fights in this twisted way. With his motivational speech finally coming to a close, Ego is left with only one last question for them. Are you hungry egoists ready to shine? The outro text here then says, the speech by Ego has now brought the players' fighting spirits to their absolute peak. Isagi and Kaiser vs Rin and Shidou next issue. The France match will finally begin. I cannot believe what I'm saying, guys, but yes, Vaster Munich vs PXG game does officially start in the next chapter. I cannot wait for all of these insane moments, panels, and interactions, especially since I'm like the biggest Shidou fan in the world. Who are you guys really excited to see in this match? Because we have like Rin and Shidou coming back, Zantetsu and Karasu, all the people from PXG. But we also have some possible newcomers in Vaster Munich like Kiora Jin, Teru Nepu, and I mean just, Isagi's cooking. He's always cooking. Chapter 248's upcoming title is shown to be Final Fight, and there's obviously no theorizing on what the title stands for. The new Egoist League's 2 undefeated teams will finally face off against one another, bringing us into what just might be Blue Lock's greatest and grandest match yet. Anyways, with that pretty much being everything from today's spoilers, I just would like to thank you guys so much for the recent support. I'm still kind of picking back up my role after coming back from my zombie-like illness, so please forgive me for the lack of variety videos. If you guys do enjoy my content I push out, however, and would like to support me, please be sure and check that you're subscribed to the channel, are commenting on my videos, and even check out my community Discord in the description if that interests you. I hope you all continue to have an amazing day, and may your dreams be filled with only thoughts of BM vs PXG.